Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. We got a report from ESPN's Adam Schefter that Ezekiel Elliot will be making up his mind on where he'll be playing next season, and the New York Jets are one of the three teams that he is choosing between. This came out of absolutely nowhere. So as you guys can see from the report below from Adam Schefter of ESPN, he says Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott has narrowed down his options about where to play to the Eagles, Jets, and Bengals. He will like to make his decision about where to sign by the end of the week per sources. And then underneath that tweet, Adam Schefter said, the obvious, Aaron Rodgers is the lure for Ezekiel Elliott to want to join the New York Jets. Now, this is very interesting news because we found out today that the Jets just re-signed Ty Johnson, and we all are expecting him to be running back number 4 behind Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and Bam Knight. So the New York Jets just traded away Elijah Moore yesterday. Now, that tells me that the Jets are definitely looking at this roster and thinking about trading people. And the only way the New York Jets bring in Zeke is if they have to make a trade. Because if they bring in Zeke, then we're running with 5 running backs with Zeke, Breece, Carter, Bam, Ty Johnson. Those are 5 running backs. And I think that there's only way if Zeke comes here if the Jets make another trade. Now, would I want Ezekiel Elliott on the New York Jets? Only way you can sell me on that if it's for a veteran minimum. I think Ezekiel Elliott's best days are behind him. Personally, I feel like he would take meaningful reps over guys like a Michael Carter and a Bam Knight. Obviously, Breece Hall will be the bell cow when he gets back to full strength. But if the Jets feel like Breece Hall's injury is a little more serious and they want to ease his way out there and they want to have a backfield with Zeke, Carter, and Bam Knight until Breece Hall returns and they feel like they are going seriously all in this season, then it makes sense from that perspective because the Jets are obviously in on Odell Beckham Jr. They're now in on Ezekiel Elliott. Those are 2 veterans that are at the back end of their careers that are going out there to play for the Jets potentially with Aaron Rodgers. Now, again, this would be probably for a cheap contract because the contract that the Dallas Cowboys got out of gives Ezekiel Elliott $10 million. So that's why the Jets can afford giving him the veteran minimum because Zeke is still getting paid this season regardless by the Cowboys, which is why financially it could work in the Jets' budget. If you want to get a veteran minimum like Zeke, yeah, maybe it's another type of Leonard Fournette with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember, he leaves Jacksonville. Some people think he's kind of done. His best days are behind him. He goes to Tampa Bay. He breaks out yet again with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I don't know if Ezekiel Elliott's going to be doing that all over again. I mean, how old is Zeke at this point? I don't even know. Let's look it up together. Ezekiel Elliott, I'm assuming around 26, 27. Yeah, so he's 27, going to be 28 years old this season. And that's kind of the age where you go into the back end of your career as a running back. And any Dallas Cowboys fan will tell you, Zeke is not the same player that he was in the prime days of his career with the Dallas Cowboys when they drafted him in the top 10 of the NFL draft. We get all that. They're replacing him with Tony Pollard. But what we would be doing by adding Ezekiel Elliott to this Jets team would be with a Nathaniel Hackett offense that likes to run a lot of running backs through the system with Breece, Carter, Bam Knight, Zeke, Ty Johnson. I think that either a trade's going to happen, a cut's going to happen in order to fit Ezekiel Elliott. I'm kind of on the bandwagon of staying away from Ezekiel Elliott, but if we do bring him in, looking at it from the perspective that the Jets seriously are going all in for the playoffs this year, for the Super Bowl this year, whatever you want to call it, with Aaron Rodgers, you can definitely sell me on that because Jets fans, soak it in. We have never been in a situation where veterans even like Zeke, veterans like Odell Beckham Jr., and of course veterans like Aaron Rodgers would even never think about coming to the New York Jets. Now we are one of those teams that veterans like these players at the back end of their career, they're looking at the Jets thinking, hey, I want to go get a ring before I retire. Why not go meet up with Aaron Rodgers on the New York Jets? So whether you want Zeke or not, you should definitely feel pretty cool that he's considering coming here. So again, he's choosing between the Jets. He's choosing between the Bengals and the Eagles. I don't think it's about the Jets trying to sway him in one way from a contract perspective. I think it's just going to be up to Ezekiel Elliott about which team he wants to go to. And if you look at the 3 teams, the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year, Bengals in the Super Bowl last year, in the AFC Championship last year, and then the Jets. So the Jets are being talked about with these teams, and that's where they're looked at around the NFL. That's pretty darn cool. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you want Ezekiel Elliott on the New York Jets? I'm going to assume 75% of you guys are going to say no, 25% of you guys are going to say yes, and watch it actually happen. And then we'll really break it down when it does or if it does, and we figure out where Ezekiel Elliott's going next. So again, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video if you enjoy, and let's go Jets. Peace out, everybody.